Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our admin who gave us this translation. The translation reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? My name is Name Hidden. What I am about to share with you, it is something that has been haunting me for years and years. I never thought that I would find myself in such a desperate situation, but now I realized that the things that we do sometimes, you think that you are fixing someone else, maybe you are fixing a problem. Some of the spiritual practices that we sometimes use to solve our problems can come back to haunt us in ways that we never expected. Brother Nashi, right now, me and my wife, we are fighting. My wife, she even goes to the extent of telling her family members that I am a ritualist and occultist. But I am not that, Brother Nashi. I was a man who was trying to get his phone back, and by me being given some contacts of this other man from Zim who promised that he was going to be able to return back the phone that had been stolen from me. Indeed, the phone came back, but with it came with some demons that I started fighting with. So I started having dreams immediately when the thief returned back with the phone, and I knew that I was in trouble. I returned back to him. Oh, I wish that I had gotten hold of him and forced him to take back his demons, but he promised me that everything was going to be okay. You know, when someone has helped you with a spiritual problem, you just start to respect that person. Maybe if I had fought with him at that time when he was still around, maybe in our country, you could have helped me, because I would have dreams, and in my dreams I'll be killing my own son. Then when I would look at myself, it won't be me but another man, a demonic figure that I would have turned into. It all started, it was in the year 2014 when I was living and working in Kempton Park. Life was not perfect, but I was managing to get by. One day, my phone got stolen whilst I was in a crowded area near the taxi rank. Losing that phone felt like losing my own life, because I had used a lot of money to purchase that phone. And even my wife, when we went to purchase that phone, she was like, this phone that you are buying at a very high price, what are you going to do if this phone gets stolen? Why don't you just get a small phone, at least that has WhatsApp? But I wanted that phone, a big phone, because it was really beautiful. So me and my wife, we fought, and I bought that phone. So I had so many important contacts, messages, and personal things on it. I was desperate to get everything back, but in a city like Johannesburg, stolen phones don't usually come back unless if you are like lucky, and then you have other people that are working with you. When I looked at myself and I said, here in Johannesburg, I really do not have relatives as such, just friends. So there was no way that I could say, let us go out and try to find this phone. That was when a co-worker, a friend of mine who was from Zim, he told me about prophets that are from Zim, those ones that wear the red garments. And he told me that he knew about a prophet that was from Zim who could help with this sort of problems. He called him Prophet Lazarus, but he said that people around him, when you go to the area where he is staying, maybe if you say Lazarus, people won't know him. But what you do, he said that you call him Lazi, Prophet Lazi. That was like his short nickname. He was known for wearing those red garments, the kind you often see with some of the prophets that are from Zim. At first, I was not sure about going to him. Spiritual things like they were not my really thing. Even back home, when we would be having a traditional function, I would feel uncomfortable. But at that time, I was desperate, and I did not want my wife to know that I had lost that phone. She asked me, where is the phone? Where is the phone? And I said, the phone, I forgot it somewhere else. So I needed my phone back, and I would do whatever that it could take, knowing that my wife, she is short-tempered. So I then contacted Prophet Lazarus, and he invited me to his place. He did not ask for much. All he told me was that after your phone has been returned back, then you pay me the money that I want. But he did not tell me the amount that he wanted. He said that all that was needed was to follow a few prayers and rituals. Nothing was complicated from the look of things. He gave me a small bottle that was full of oil and a few verses from the Bible that I had to read and to recite. He told me to pray every day at exactly 3 a.m., an hour he called the hour of breakthrough. He said that I needed to have faith when I'll be performing this ritual, and if I believed the thief was going to return back the phone, And when I took those items, truly speaking, I did not even believe that the thief would be returning back with the phone. I followed his instructions, though I still had my doubts, but after a week of praying and using the oil that he gave me, something strange happened. One morning, I received a call from an unknown number. When I answered and I said, "Private number, hello," the man on the other end, he sounded like someone who was terrified and shaken, afraid. He told me that he was the one who had stolen my phone. He said, "Aha, so it is you." He said he could not keep this phone anymore. The person whom he had sold the phone to had returned back to him and beaten him up, and he said, "I want my money back." He said that he cannot keep the phone anymore because he had seen something terrifying. A baboon had appeared to him in a dream and told him to return the phone. I was stunned. The man said he was too scared to hold onto the phone any longer and was coming to return it. The next day, true to his word, he came to my house and handed it back to me after I had given him some directions. That was when my wife found out that my phone had been stolen all along. Since she now saw that phone had been returned back, she asked me how I had contacted the healer and whatnot. And I told her the truth. And that man, when I looked at him, it was like he was someone that was scared. He was also from Zim, the man who had stolen the phone from me. And it seemed as if he had not slept in days. When you catch a thief, you feel like you want to beat him. But that man, when I looked at him, I saw that the devil had beaten him up for me. He kept mumbling about how the baboon would not leave him alone, following him everywhere he went, telling him to return the phone because it was not his. I did not know what to make of it. I was just glad to have my phone back, and I chased him away. After that, life returned back to normal, at least for a while. I was grateful that Prophet Lazarus had made sure and I made sure that I thanked him for his help. But after that incident, I did not keep in touch with him. There was no need. I got busy and I didn't think about the phone or the strange way that it was returned. And then I returned back to my province in KZN until a few years later when we returned back to Jozi, when things took a turn for the worse. Fast forward to 2021, my son, who was only 12 at that time, began acting strangely. It started slowly when I was called by my mom. So my son, I was told that he was talking to himself, and my mom was like, "Yo, this boy is speaking in Shona now." And when my mom said that this boy is speaking in Shona, I thought that maybe he was now taking drugs. And then when I returned back to KZN, I was told that my son was saying that he was seeing things that were not there. At first I thought that maybe my son was now taking drugs. I wanted to beat him up, but my mom said, "No, don't do that." So I returned back again and I started working, but I was told that his behavior was becoming even worse. He would wake up in the middle of the night screaming about animals that were chasing him. He would say that he was seeing a baboon. A baboon. When my mom said that, he said that he saw a baboon that was standing in his room, standing in the corner watching him. That was when I knew that things were wrong. At first, they thought that it was some kind of mental illness. They took him to the doctors, and I did not want to participate because I knew what this meant, but his condition only worsened. He began walking on all fours as if he was a baboon, like becoming a baboon himself. I could not understand what was happening. My wife and I, we were terrified. We tried everything, Brother Nashi. By the end of 2021, I was doing things in secret, visiting some sangomas. My son was completely out of control. He had run out of the house into the streets like a wild animal. Even people, they were now scared of him. They thought that he was possessed. Deep down, I started to think about that baboon the thief had seen when he had returned my phone, and I knew that it was connected. But where to find Prophet Lazarus? There was no way I could find him. My son's condition got worse. He became violent. We had to lock him up in a room to keep him. Now I was with him here in Jozi. Then just 2 months ago, he passed away. The doctors said that it was some kind of a mental problem, but I know that it is more than that. I am filled with regret, Brother Nashi. I am about to lose my wife. As we are speaking right now, my wife, she is staying at another accommodation and I am staying somewhere else. I know what I did in 2014. Those prayers, they are the ones that made my son to die. I have been searching for this man that is called Prophet Lazarus ever since my son's condition started. I need answers from this man. I need to know if what I did back then somehow cursed my son. I have asked around, but no one seems to know where Prophet Lazarus is now. There is this other man who said that he left South Africa and returned to Zim, while others say he's still around. All that I know is that I need to find him. If there is anyone who will listen to my confession, if they know a man whom they call Prophet Lazarus, also known as Lazi, I am begging for your help. I don't know if he can undo what he has done. I need to try. This man, he used to work around Kempton Park, like he did not go to work, but he used to work as a prophet. People would come to him and pay him. His name is Prophet Lazarus or Prophet Lazi, like the people from his country used to call him. I am looking for him. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who gave us this translation. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world, but our brother is searching for this man who is called Prophet Lazarus or Prophet Lazi, who used to stay around Kempton Park. If you have any information, you can text me and then we will talk about it. Yo.